reputation as anti-democratic, but also seems to be very Chicago. Last, we want to thank the aldermanic candidates standing with us this morning who are showing their support for delaying the TIF and stopping the Top Academy, but also remind everyone that we aren't endorsing any candidates. First, you're going to hear from Reverend Yala Bukima of Lakeview Lutheran Church, which has been leading the fight against the Lincoln Yard mega TIF.
Right on. Woo! Spell your name. Spell your name.
It's Lila, L-I-A-L-A, Bukema, B-E-U-K-E-M-A. So thank you for inviting me this morning. I feel very privileged and humbled to be a part of this coalition of folks. You know, we live in a culture that says and encourages us to, if you see something, say something. And we depend on this kind of civic responsibility to help keep us safe. And that's why we're here today, why we've been here, and why we will continue to be here. Because we see quite clearly that things are not right as it relates to the way that the city has put together this proposed police academy project. Besides not exactly offering effective solutions to issues put forth in the consent decree, we are seeing that the construction of the academy itself appears to be tainted by the long-ignored systems of corruption and cronyism that has been the way of our politics system for tens of years. I participate in the Lincoln Yards Coalition Delay the TIF that is comprised of businesses, community organizations, neighborhood associations, and a lot of other people who've been calling on the delay of decisions regarding the zoning changes and proposed $900 million TIF associated with this project. We see that there are a lot of flaws and unanswered questions regarding the long-term effects and promised benefits of this mega billion-dollar project. But we're here today because our questionable project is implicated and has ties to this questionable project. As it turns out, the Chicago City Fleet Management Facility was located on prime real estate in the Lincoln Yards footprint. The city sold this property to Sterling Bay, the well-connected and former Ed Burke client, developer of the Lincoln Yards project. And where did the revenue from this transaction end up? Was it directed toward helping schools, or building parks, or adding affordable and low-income housing, or addressing infrastructure deficits in underserved communities? Nope. This windfall of public money from the exchange was set aside for the building of the proposed and unwanted police academy. And in addition, just so you know, the fleet management facility will be moved to another underserved Chicago neighborhood, which in my opinion is not exactly the kind of invited and forward-thinking development the community needs. All of this, some might say, is just doing business. Well, it looks like shady business to me. Because again, we see nothing in this process that results in the significant benefits to communities surrounding these projects. In fact, what we do see are strings tied to the city's business as usual practice of rewarding rich developers and less than skilled politicians at the cost of public health and safety. What we do see is an effort to fast-track all this business before the new mayor and city council has the opportunity to lend new eyes to review these projects. What we do see are the fingerprints of corruption all over both of these projects. And we know that if we don't say something now, what we see is what we'll get. So we understand that we're at a crucial, opportune juncture in laying the groundwork for the city's future. But you know what else we see? Time. There's time to look more closely to ensure that these developments bring to the city table the best that we can offer our residents. So won't you continue to stand with us, and we encourage new aldermen to join in the fight to delay the TIF, to delay all of these conversations and decisions around these projects until the new administration and newest city council has an opportunity to review and ensure that the corruption of the past is in the past.
leader of Black Workers Matter based on Westside Health Authority. Black Workers Matter helps fight discrimination and races in TIF industrial bakeries. I am young, I am Black. I am a worker, so I'm interested in both these projects because I care about jobs for people in my community. And I care about the police not harassing people in my community. I joined Black Workers Matter while working at a huge industrial bakery on the west side. Hostess in Austin and Bimbo in Cicero. These places were so big and loud, sometimes I couldn't even hear my supervisor giving me directions. We made danishes and baked goods for Eminence and Starbucks, and we even made stuff for the Illinois prisons. Right now, we are fighting a legacy of racism at the Hostess Bakery in Austin. Hostess sits in a TIF district. Many companies in TIF districts are discriminating and segregating by race and gender. With our TIF tax dollars, this city is not holding them accountable. We say discrimination used to be free, but now we have to pay for it? I heard Alderman Hopkins say the steel jobs aren't coming back. We need Lincoln Yards so we can have jobs. That's an old line. And I say, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. What kind of jobs? For whom? Let me say it again. TIF don't work if we don't work. For decades, this city has handed over billions for politically connected private developer projects, corporate headquarters, and luxury housing. These projects have not created prosperity in my neighborhood. Lincoln Yards is no different. That's not me saying that. That's the Illinois TIF state. Look it up. The TIF, the intentions of TIF, I quote, to create permanent, well-paying jobs. So we don't need any more money and TIF dollars to make the rich get richer. And we do not need to spend TIF money on further militarizing the Chicago Police Department, building a new cop academy that includes a shooting range and raid equipment for a department that the DOJ just told us is racist and regularly violates the rights of our citizens, and that's just plain wrong. We need more jobs and more justice on the job. The last thing we need is more cops. The last thing we need is more money for cops. We say jobs and justice, yes. Cops Academy, no. Jobs and justice, yes. Cops Academy, no. Jobs and justice, yes. Cops Academy, no. TIF don't work if we don't work. TIF don't work if we don't work. Black workers matter. Black workers matter. Black workers matter.
And now we're going to hear from Michael Brunson of the Chicago Teachers Union.
All right.
Michael?
All right, all right.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'm looking around. I'm with the right crowd today. All right. Look, so now our illustrious mayor is going to leave us with one last poke in the eye. $2.4 billion of TIF funds going to Sterling Bay. You know, these TIF funds are supposed to be for blighted communities. Is that money going to Inglewood? No. Is that money going to the West Side? No. Do we need a cop academy? No. We need jobs. Yeah. We need money for our schools. Yeah. We need smaller class sizes. We need libraries and librarians in our schools. Yeah. We need mental health clinics. Yeah. We do not need more police. We need more jobs out here so that we will have people out here working and not doing other things. Right. So I'm saying to you today, we need to stand up against this. We need to make a lot of noise. We need to make sure that these TIF funds are actually going to where they are intended to be going, to our communities, and not to build more high rises, and to create more jobs for us and for the betterment of our schools.
That's right.
With that, thank you.
With that, we are going to close out, but we wanted to take a moment of silence to uplift the memory of Michael Elon, a 17-year-old young black teen who was killed by Chicago police this past weekend on the west side. His death by multiple bullets to the back and side has already been ruled a homicide. We hope his family and friends know that they aren't alone and that we fight because Michael should be here, just like Laquan, just like Rakia, just like Betty and Antonio and Ronnie Kent.
Thank you for coming out this morning. We also ask all of our supporters to continue to call on Alderman James Kappelman to cancel the vote on the proposed zoning change set for next Thursday's meeting, which would be one of the final green lights for the COP Academy. His number is 773-878-4646. We invite you to come inside today and witness the charade that is going to be the Chicago Plan Commission, aka the Chicago Rubber Stamp Commission. Thank you for coming.
Oh, Cop Academy, 95 community.